welcome back everybody. This week we're continuing with our Copperfield project, and what we're going to be doing is installing shiplap throughout the living room area and carrying it into the kitchen. So the actual installation of shiplap is pretty easy. You apply some adhesive to the back, you make sure that it's level, either with a level or a laser, and you shoot the nails through the shiplap and into your 2x4s or your framing. There's really not much that you can do to mess up the installation of shiplap, but there are some things that you can do to make it look better. So the first thing that you should do is lay out your material in a way where it's easy to pick up, take to your tools and cut. And that does two things. It helps expedite the process and gets you in a good rhythm. But more importantly, it avoids damaging the material, so after it's installed, you don't see any dings or scrapes or scratches on your finished product. So aside from the installation, now that you have all your materials and your tools laid out, a very good thing to do, or a good practice, is to do a dry run of all your materials. And this is something that we do not only with shiplap or general carpentry, we do this with tile as well. We want to make sure that pieces that are going to be butted up to the ceiling or butted up against another wall, pieces that are notched out around window and door trim, we want to avoid small pieces. It just doesn't give it the full effect of the shiplap or whatever material we're installing. In particular, ones that hit the ceiling, the last thing that you want to do is, after you've installed all your shiplap, for the final piece to be 1/4 of an inch or an inch. It kind of looks like it was done by mistake and that it wasn't any planning was done on the forefront. So what you want to do to avoid that is possibly rip the bottom piece, bringing everything down, and it'll give you a fuller piece up top. So that's a quick tip to do even before you start cutting, is to dry fit everything to make sure that all pieces are as full as possible. In this particular space, we're working with very short walls. So I would say about 90% of the walls that we were working with were 16 feet or shorter. And the pieces that we were installing were 16 feet. So at first glance, it's an ideal situation because you're putting in full pieces. But there were a couple of pieces that would go over a door jamb or a window, where we would need more than one piece to connect the entire length of that wall. And that's another tip that you want to think about ahead of time, is where you're gonna make those cuts. And what we like to do is just offset the cut. So in this particular case, we had 2 rows above the door jambs and the windows that were gonna be installed that needed 2 pieces to span the length of that wall. And we made one cut about 1/3 of the way on the left-hand side, and we made on the second row another cut on the second third closest to the opposite wall, so you don't see 2 cuts that are close to each other, and it'll give it more of a designed or pre-thought out cut. Some tips that I gave on Facebook Live that we did when we were starting the project is using adhesives. In this particular case, we're using liquid nails. We're putting that on the back of all of the boards. That is really what's gonna hold the shiplap together. When you have a lot of boards, similar to flooring, wood expands and contracts, and if you just use nails, in particular on a vertical surface, what'll happen is that those boards can have a tendency to loosen if it's just fastened with nails. So we apply an adhesive to help adhere to the wall. Another quick but subtle tip is to cut all your longer pieces first. What that does is it allows for the least amount of waste. Since all the boards that we're using are 16 feet long, we start with the longest pieces first, try to pre-cut as much as possible, and all the remnants of those longer cuts gives us the pieces that we need for the shiplap that's going to be installed in between things like windows or next to door jambs, and that just maximizes the material that's being used. One last thing to consider is the orientation of the shiplap. We discussed different orientations with the homeowners. You can have shiplap that's run vertically. You can have shiplap that's done in a design format such as a chevron or a herringbone. The homeowners decided to just have it a traditional installation, but it is something that you may want to consider and discuss before the installation, as there are many different patterns that you can play with during the installation, and discussing these on the front end give you the maximum options that you can have, so that you can have the space and the feel that you really want. So that's a little bit about how we install our shiplap. I hope you guys learned a little bit about our process. Not every process is the same, but with us, we go with what we know best and how we can install it to give it the best look. So if this information was useful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It gives you not only updates on this project, but of other projects that we're doing in the future as well. And that helps us know that we're doing our good job and keeps us motivated to do more videos. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.